Hey, my name is Matt. Welcome to another episode of Unbearable 73. For almost a decade, the final arc of Bleach has been animated and is now being released weekly via Hulu in the US. I've been a fan of Bleach since around 2008 2009, and I'll be reviewing the adaptation of the final arc, The Thousand Year Blood War. Note, my reviews will be full on spoiler, as I will at times be comparing what they did in the current adaptation of the show to the manga, which is done. Here are a few quick details about Bleach. Bleach began as a manga series written and illustrated by Tide Kubo and Weekly Shonen Jump from August of 2001 through August of 2016. It was adapted into an anime which animated all the arcs except the last one from 2004 to 2012. Yeah, you read that correctly. Bleach the anime ended well before the manga did. There was a live action movie adaptation of the early episodes in 2018. There have been video games, stage musicals, and books, and so on. Bleach has certain signature elements which make it dissimilar yet dissimilar and unique to other anime. Like Cowboy Bebop, Bleach uses its music and its score entirely, particularly well to manipulate moods, to change the tone of things, and so forth. It has its own unique visual styles. Also, Kubo basically grabs words and concepts from other languages and cultures and gives its own unique twist on them. That's kind of a critical third leg, the world he creates. You know, it's almost as fun as the world. That's fun as the world that George Miller created for the Mad Max movies. The main character of Bleach is a teenager named Kurosaki Ichigo. We learn over the course of the manga that Ichigo is in fact the son of one of the most powerful Shinigami captains, and then also his mother is a very powerful Quincy, who turns out to be the daughter of Yahweh, the king of the Quincies. To understand what's going on in the season, here are some important details. There's a cycle of reincarnation that is the core of the medical physical structure of Bleach, which is maintained by the Soul King. The Soul King and the cycle of reincarnation is protected by the Shinigami, or Soul Reapers, as they're called in English. People basically live a mortal life and then either reincarnate into the Soul Society or Hueco Mundo, depending on whether or not their life met certain medical physical criteria. Then when they die in the Soul Society or Hueco Mundo, they reincarnate again on Earth to have a chance to bring more balance to their life. And that continues over and over again. Souls reincarnate as hollows in the Hueco Mundo, which are rabid predators who consume the energy of souls, which is Ryatsu. That's fine, Hueco Mundo. That's a very predatory place, part of the life cycle. Those hollows periodically come to Earth. When they do this, the Shinigami of the society disperse the hollows back to Hueco Mundo. They don't kill them; they disperse them because they have to follow the cycle of reincarnation. Around 1,000 years ago, a being named Yahweh arose who wanted to end death and fear and break the cycle of endless life and death. To do this, he had to destroy the society and become the new Soul King. He gave rise to an army of beings who had the power to actually destroy souls, the Quincy. This is one of the most completely forbidden things to do for a Shinigami because it breaks the cycle of reincarnation. Captain General Yamato, a character in many of the fan base called Old Man Genocide, declared a war of extinction on the Quincy. They were hunted down and almost exterminated, while Yahweh, the leader, disappearing and going dormant for 1,000 years. Although he woke up earlier and had been plotting, you'll find out. The arc plot-wise opens shortly after he has emerged from hiding and unleashed his Wandenreich army on the Soul Society. Also in Bleach, here's how the powers work, loosely speaking. Uh, you can either have spiritual powers, physical powers, or both. Spiritual powers are powered by Ryatsu. Physical powers vary, but some are called a Fullbring. All the different types of beings have that sort of power set where they scale up. So they'll have base power, advanced power, and blah, blah, blah. For Shinigami, their power is associated with a soul bonded weapon called the Zanpakuto. Each Zanpakuto is crafted for the Shinigami by a special Soul Reaper captain, who you will meet later in the season. Zanpakuto have two release dates, the Shikai and the Bankai, with only the most powerful Soul Reapers capable of Bankai. And the more powerful the Soul Reaper, the more powerful their Bankai. Okay, there are special power techniques that will kind of work like magic spells. Keto, I think, is one of them, and they're numbered. You'll see like Keto number 14, and they'll blast someone. Other classes of being have similar powers that have release levels. And here's my little background with Bleach, so you understand why I come from it. Some friends of mine recommended Bleach the anime to me. Honestly, I watched the first 5 or 6 episodes and it seemed like a typical shonen series with nice stylish elements. Nothing really grabbed me. They urged me to watch the first 20 episodes without telling me why. That something would happen as the episodes accumulated, which would pay off and make me love it. That the first 10 or so episodes were kind of drag a bit, and that's true a lot of anime. Because the manga pretty much doesn't have space between it. Take for example another adaptation, Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke's final fight in the manga is much shorter because they just show the power move. They don't show them flying up. They don't show them sitting around. So the manga will always pad things. The anime will always pad things in that regard. Another way that anime pad things is like, for instance, the Boruto manga. Issue 5 of the Boruto manga is equivalent of like episode 65 of the anime. They stretch like the first 2 issues out immensely and in a bad way. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. They padded those first 10 or so episodes when it should really got to what happened in episodes 10 to 20 sooner, in my opinion. When Byakuya showed up and the entire tone of the series changed, Byakuya was a villain we loved to hate, we thought. Ichigo's quest to defeat Byakuya, who had basically one shot and killed him, and protect Rukia was fire. It was what you wanted to see. You wanted Ichigo to come back and prove to Byakuya that he wasn't worthless. And Kubo masterfully used that to hide the true nature of what was going on in those opening arcs. I immediately began reading the manga, and as the manga went on, we followed in interviews. Kubo got tired of writing Bleach, basically stopped drawing backgrounds and background details, and simply rushed through the final couple of arcs. A large segment of the fan base, me included, were not happy with how the manga ended. Kubo basically killed off or silenced many of the characters we wanted to see with Ichigo at the end, and introduced a whole slew of new allied characters that very few of us cared about, and still don't. Plus, the secret of Ichigo's powers being that he had never actually accessed his Shinigami powers. He was really a secret Quincy all along, until somewhere in this arc, that we're going to watch now, was something that explained a lot of the peculiarities of Ichigo's abilities. There's some word with this final arc that Kubo is going to change some details and moderate others to make some of the issues in the final arc less problematic, so we'll see. Now on to the review, and I promise all the other stuff I just said won't be in the succeeding episodes. I just wanted to give you my background on the first episode. So we pick up a couple years later after the conclusion of the Fullbring arc. The episode drops an exposition about Yawik and the 1,000-Year Blood War. Then Afro-san drops... that's the name of one of the Shinigami, by the way. Afro-san drops 2 new Shinigami, Shino and Ryunosuke, into Karakura Town. Karakura Town is Ichigo's hometown. There had been a massive increase in hollow activity on Earth, and hollows are being killed. We see that on the Soul Reaper scanners. Given Ichigo and his team are absurdly powerful, a large amount of absurdly powerful hollows congregate there, drawn in by the Hariatsu levels of the Karakura Town. The 2 noob Soul Reapers are overwhelmed, but Team Ichigo arrives to save the day. Elsewhere, we see events moving in the Soul Society as the Wandenreich sends a squad to declare war to Old Man Genocide himself. Old Man Genocide is what many of the fans call Captain General Yamamoto. Absurdly powerful and absurdly dark in terms of his rulings. Along the way, we think the first product placement in Bleach history appears to be an ad for Coca-Cola. There's this scene here. When Ryunosuke returns from shopping, she drops a bunch of bags of Coke, and they focus on the Coke. Like, literally focus on it, That's a Coca-Cola swirl there. Ultimately, the two arcs in this episode come together as an ambitious Quincy named Iburn attempts to steal Ichigo's Bankai. Apparently, Yawik forgot to mention to Iburn that Ichigo is not actually using his soul powers. Oopsie! This was largely an episode that reintroduced the characters and concepts to an audience that may or may not have watched Bleach for almost 10 years. In that regard, I got right back into it. This felt like Bleach. On the production side, the animation quality is excellent, and we have the usual uniquely identifiable Bleach soundtrack. The mild criticisms so far are that by the end of the episode, they start doing a lot of rapid cuts back and forth between plots. That always annoys me when they do it too much. And there's a lot of padding. I mean, I've told it before. They're going to pad these episodes in general to get as much out of it as they can. Yeah, Bleach's opening and ending are awesome. We get that, and we love it, right? The ending theme is pretty cool in this one. But let's hope they don't pad it too much, because we'll see. My final thoughts. I admit to being in a down place recently with entertainment. Basically, it's all gone to shit. I was not too hopeful that Bleach would be halfway decent, but the trailers look good. And then as the anime happened, and I saw I was running right back into it with the opening episode. It got me right back in the mental place where Bleach is, where it excites me, where I love the sort of... Bleach is kind of like Supernatural. It's a TV show, Supernatural. There's a tone and setting to the show. Obviously, it's a higher power scale, but the Bleach foursome, Ichigo, Shadow, Uryu, and Orihime, they're basically like Sam and Dean and Cass and Jack. That core, those core elements, Supernatural. Obviously, Sam and Dean are more core, but there's a vibe when those characters are on screen, working together and kicking butt. And when the music kicked in, when Shino and Ryunosuke, the new two Shinigami, were in trouble, and Team Ichigo showed up, and the Bleach kicked in, and I can't even do it, but I don't want to get copyright struck. But when that kicked in, I was like, yeah, it got me mentally into place, and I was back. Bleach is back, and I was back at least for one episode. So we'll see how it goes with the next episode. My review for that will probably be out by Wednesday. Thereafter, I'll be reviewing. I wanted to see what the release timing on the way I watch episodes are before I commit to reviewing the series. This first episode was 9 out of 10 for me. Now, thanks for watching my video. Smash the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike if you didn't. Comment down below if you have questions for me about this video. Please share the video if you found it worthwhile. I'm Matt. This has been an episode of Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.